Hey YouTube, this is Nashtaters. Welcome back to another episode of War of the Visions. In today's episode, we're going to be doing Arena because of the new toggled abilities. So let's get right into it. With the new toggling system, we have the capability to turn off abilities or keep them on. So I think Arena is going to be more challenging, more interesting, and overall going to be more fun. So let's go over my units that I'm really going to be working with in this episode. My main attacker is going to be Mediana. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what skills I have decided to turn off for the sake of Arena. Blizzard is going to be one of my main attacks, so I decided to keep it on. Bio, I decided to turn off. Lazaga, decided to turn off as well. Flare is going to be the first skill most likely this unit is going to be using besides her AoE limit break. I also decided to turn off Toad because it's not going to be very useful. I'm choosing Subjob because I really want her to use Drain, so I subsequently turn off the other three skills as well. Ideally, the way I really want her to be going would be cast Cosmo Plume when getting in range of enemy units, then do in the orders of Flare, perhaps Drain, and then of course Blizzard. I think if I decided to turn off Blizzard, maybe I can actually just concentrate on Drain. But generally speaking, if she takes damage, she's most likely going to be killed anyways. The next unit I want to use as an attacker would be Orlando, and for him I decided to keep Crush Armor on. I wanted to keep the Crest of Line because I want him to buff himself in the beginning, so therefore he can build some AP. Hopefully he can cast Shadow Blade, therefore he can maybe drain some of his life back if he's taking some damage. Crush Weapon I decided to turn off completely for the sake of this video. And then for Sword Saint, I really want him to use Hallowed Bolt because it's an AoE attack and it can cause silence, which is really good in terms of PvP. I decided to turn off the other two skills because they weren't leveled. For Ayaka, my main supporting unit for arena purposes, I chose White Mage as the main ability, obviously because she's a White Mage. So I decided to keep Cure in case I need to heal. I turned off pretty much everything else but Full Life and Holy, and I didn't really like Regen for the purpose of PvP because I don't want her to waste turns. Now, usually speaking, the second turn she's most likely to be casting her AoE limit break to keep some of her friendly units topped off. Most likely, the third turn she'll be casting Full Life because in case Mediana dies or perhaps Orlando gets one-shotted. After the game stabilizes, most likely she's going to start using Holy. Once perhaps she's running low on AP, she's going to be concentrating on using Comet. For the sake of Arena, I also decided to turn Haste off, and pretty much everything else for the sake of a Time Mage. Now I know I really enjoy the ability Haste, but again, I didn't really want her to be wasting a lot of turns. Currently I only have one level 99 tank, and that's going to be my Mont. So of course, using Lord, because you have to, I decided to turn everything off there. And then for Paladin, I decided that I wanted to turn everything off but Blade Bash and Taunting Blade, because I really want him to be taunting and then stunning. Saintly Heal uses TP, so it's actually not a bad idea to keep it on, but I decided to turn it off as well. And Sentinel is not going to be very useful. And then Divine Grace actually is pretty good, and ideally I want him to be using Divine Grace to trigger Blade Bash and of course Taunting Blade. I'm going after this team because they have a 86, an 85, and a 99. And bear in mind, they are using some decent evasion cards, and they're using a tank card for their Shadowlings because ideally they're trying to go the route of having them do a evasion tank. So for this fight, I'm going to use Orlando because he can equip Excalibur, giving him lots of accuracy and shouldn't have too many issues actually hitting these units. Let's get into it. In terms of gear and cards, this is what I'm going with. For my Mont, ideally I want him to be pretty much meleeing or using Taunting Blade. So the best equipment I feel like for him would be a sleeping blade, just in case he can cast a little bit of crowd control. For armor, I decided to go with Armor of Light for barrier, and of course he's using his Trustmaster. His Trustmaster allows to give the other units agility in the beginning, so that's a good way to get him going. Of course, he is my tank, so he's going to be taunting, and I'm giving him the Iron Giant for extra slash attacks. For Orlando, I decided I'm going to go with slash attacks for extra damage, and of course increasing agility for my team, Excalibur for of course accuracy. And for my Ayaka, I'm going with some evasion, and I'm going with some Odin action in case she does deal some damage later on in the game. Okay, so here we are. So ideally, I want Ayaka to perhaps use her Trustmaster to buff in the beginning to take her first turn. And Mon hopefully will either use his Trustmaster or buff himself in terms of max HP. Clearly, Orlando is always going to use that skill unless you turn that off. So as you can see, Ayaka did use her Trustmaster, and as did Mont. So now we're finally engaging. And as predicted, they're going to be attacking my tank. And because the accuracy, I was able to kill off Shadowlings right off the bat. Ayaka's slowly moving towards them. And of course, he goes down from that nasty damage. And he got out of the way, doing a little bit of damage. Now Ayaka is going to be trying to resurrect. Hopefully soon here. Alright, so Orlando is still surviving. And there we go, we got the other unit dead. If we get a full life action, yep, there it is, full life as predicted. Now we're back in the fight. If that would have been asleep, that would have been like the perfect. Okay, I think this match is pretty much over. Here comes the full heal as predicted as well. And this match is pretty much done. There we have it. Good strategy, good execution equals win. Let's take a look at their first unit. They have a Mediana at level 88. Let's take a look at their equipment. A Platinum Rob that's using aim. So not very ideal here, and it's not even leveled up. So we should be able to take her down fairly easily. A Barrier Sage Hat. Again, generally speaking, people go with the evasion one. But in this case, if she wants more barrier, that makes sense, okay? And here's some more interesting builds. The Faith is super low, meaning that she's going to be doing very low damage. So could they be using this unit as a tank? Taking a look at the vision cards, it's not quite leveled up, but it does add a little bit of extra magic attack and some evasion. So taking a look at their Mon, they're using Excalibur, and they're using the Paladin build. Let's see what card they're using. They're going with Beast Killer up, which is very interesting. Pierce attack resistance, again, very interesting. Their last unit is Orlando. They are going with a magical Ragnarok. Very interesting indeed. Let's see which ring they're going. Well, at least they're going with an aim hero's ring, which is fine. And let's look at their card. Looks like it's maxed out. Dark attack, which obviously doesn't fit here. Damage limit up by 1000, which usually would never happen. Okay, so our plan, we're sticking with Orlando as an attacker in this match because he's going to be able to single target down either Mediana or Orlando fairly well, I believe. And on top of it, my Mon has a elemental advantage versus Orlando. So it looks like they're getting some buffs in, and she's going to try to do an attack. And of course, because of that agi discrepancy, and that's one of the things about this game. If your units are actually too fast, they're going to enter what I call the engaged zone, meaning that your enemy units are going to have now in range of your units. And that's usually dangerous, especially with glass cannons like Mediana. If they're built too fast and your enemies are a little bit slower than you, chances are you're going to go ahead of them and they're going to have their first attack on you, most likely killing your unit. For me, I'm not worried too much because of the fact I have a resurrecting unit. But generally speaking, if you don't, it's not a good idea to give your AoEer too much agi. It's actually better off giving them a little bit less agi so they can move a little bit slower. So therefore the tank can get in position and then AoE can actually go in and finish off your enemy units. So as you can see, that was a pretty easy run. because one, their units were poorly built and their units were poorly equipped. Again, suggesting the idea of the trifecta is actually a lot better than simply having high leveled up units. For the last fight, I decided to find a team that perhaps would pose a bigger challenge for my team. As you can see, this pretty much follows the exact same formula as my team, strategy-wise. Let's take a look at their actual builds. Warrior Blythe, fine here. They got their armors. Let's see which armor they're going with. A shield, which is okay, a shield. And then let's see if their Vow Love is maxed. It's not, but at least they got it to at least Awakening 3. Ayaka, let's see. We're going with Ramu, which is probably pretty good actually. At least they have it to Awakening 1 there. And let's see what their Platinum Rod is. Magic, okay, great. That works. And then Orlando. Let's see what their Odin's at. Alright, not bad at all. And they're going with Two-Headed Dragon again. Let's see their Nagara. Okay, Assault +5. Very nice. Probably they should be working a little bit to increase their attack power there. But overall, this team looks pretty solid. So let's go ahead and attack them. Okay, here we go. So, alright. So my routine is going to be the same. And for this video, I didn't go with Mediana at all, because at my current rank, there's not a lot of really powerful teams I'm going up against. I think in the future, I'll try to climb higher in the beginning of the week, and that was set up for perhaps a better matchups. Looks like their Ayaka is actually quite fast. Oh, didn't get a sleep there, but let's see if I can get within range here now. I should be able to kill Ayaka. Yes, there we go. Killed Ayaka. And that's good because I really want to eliminate Ayaka as best as possible. Again, speed is powerful, but you don't want your healer to be moving up in front of your other teammates, because they're entering into the zone of engagement. And as a result, they're going to be targeted, and they're going to be either targeted or they're going to be collateral damage. In this case, she was part of collateral damage and she died. And that pretty much took away a bulk of their support, if not all their support. I got a Taunting Blade up, which is what I wanted him to use, because I keep wanting him to keep taking all the hate. And so this way I can start slowly work on killing off their units with my attacker and or supporter. So far we're doing alright. They did get a Shadow Blade off, which is not good, but okay, finally we were able to get Orlando down. And that's one of the weaknesses of Vow of Love, is that it does lose hate. So if your unit is not casting spells to increase more hate, the tanking is going to startly fade away. Oh, we got to sleep off him. I think that was pretty much overkill. I think she's going to now, cast Comet like I said. And that is GG, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's all the time I have for this video. I didn't want to do full 5 matches because of the fact that I'm trying to do strategy. I'm trying to explain what my approach is in Arena, and then I'm trying to explain in details what you should be targeting in terms of enemy defenses. And because of the fact that I have to do a lot of reading, a lot of verbiage, and through the art of editing, I can make these videos shorter, but unfortunately, the extra content is going to really make these videos perhaps drag too long. But if the viewers enjoy these type of videos and want to see more fights for each video, I can actually expand them to the 5 orbs usage every day. I hope you guys enjoy this content because I'm currently really enjoying the idea of the toggle abilities. I encourage you to really do some testing and play around with the units that you're using and try to build, multiple units at least for fun in terms of testing them out in Arena. Remember, time is your most valuable resource, so use it wisely. As always, take care of yourself and all your loved ones. Nashtaters and his family out. Peace.